What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Celestial Athletes. My name is Chadwell, and today, like always, another interesting video for you here on the channel. Who will join the Dangerous Alliance? Not the official name, if I'm not mistaken, but it is a name that people have been calling this. My God, I can't believe this is a reality. We have Braun Breaker, Seth Rollins, and Paul Heyman as a faction, and I think there's going to be... oh my gosh, my voice just went out. There's going to be another name connected to this. I mean, it'll be fine if there isn't, but I do believe that there will be probably one, maybe two, or not two, sorry, one, maybe none names. I mean, it's just one or done. And I think there's going to be someone that will join them. I'm going to throw out some possibilities. I have 9 people, and I say people, not, men or women, because I do have some women on here that I think could be some aces under the sleeves of these players to really make a insane faction. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to go crazy. And yeah, and I'm going to guess, and this is just a theory, that Backlash will be Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins versus Punk and Roman. And I'm going to guess, and I'm calling it now, that if there is a third member in this faction, they will debut at Backlash and they will beat. And that's how Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker will win. Just a theory, just a thought. So let's get started with Roxanne Perez. Listen, I have some big hitters. I have some low hitters here. Roxanne Perez is someone who needs to come to the main roster and immediately wreak havoc. Wreak havoc? Wreck havoc. Why did I say wreak havoc? Roxanne Perez is someone that I think could have a good solo career. I don't think she needs to join a faction. But I'm thinking, listen, whoever joins this faction, this is a big push. I mean, you have to think this is going to be a faction that's in the main event for a long time. So if you think about Roxanne Perez, you think about some other players in this, they are more than likely going to be in this somewhat main event scene with Roxanne Perez. If I'm telling you right now, if she joins this faction, and I debated on putting her higher up on this list. This technically isn't like who I think fully, who I don't think. At the end, I do think that these are my most likely people. But I wanted to put her higher because I really do believe that Roxanne Perez, storyline wise, could really, and I mean really, hit hard. You think of a woman, first off, in this faction that could really be great for this faction, so they can expand on maybe mixed gender matches, or you really push Roxanne Perez to be a top women's star. So if this faction would disband, she's still on top of the game. You have some good women feuds with this faction, and then also I really think about the connection between her and CM Punk. Everyone knows that her and CM Punk is a mentor and daughter type of situation. So you have Roxanne Perez and CM Punk. You use Roxanne Perez to join this faction and really backstab CM Punk? I'm just saying. Tell me this is not a great idea. But have her on here, I don't think they'll go that way. Up next is Bronson Reed. So I think whoever is going to join here is going to be maybe not the most insane guy. I think the top 2 stars of this faction are just going to be Seth and Braun. So I want somebody that could either get a push, like someone I thought in here also was like Trick Williams, but I want somebody who can get a push, can really join a main event scene, and someone that's not as amazing, maybe not great at promos, maybe could do better with a faction. Bronson Reed looks like an enforcer. Bronson Reed looks like he's a killer. So Bronson Reed coming back from injury, maybe he comes in and immediately is like their bodyguard type of player where he's really joining in this faction and looking like an insane guy. Just a theory, just a thought. But I really do believe Bronson Reed could wreak some havoc. You have to think about the whole thing with him and Seth, and that's why he's so low on this list. I just don't see the way where you can convince me that Bronson Reed joined Seth after they just had a feud, so maybe it would take time. But I do believe if you would want to push Bronson Reed a lot, this is the way. Because I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, you just throw him into a faction. Oh, you're just doing this. Oh, what's the point? This is a huge thing. Seth, And they're a Heyman guy or girl. And honestly, that's why I kind of want a girl in this faction, because I'm saying a Heyman girl is, I feel like, a big thing. That's like a big, big ordeal. Roxanne Perez being that would be amazing. But I'm telling you right now that this is a huge thing for any talent to join this faction. So Bronson Reed I have here. Up next is Obafemi. Now I have Obafemi higher than Bronson Reed because, one, Bronson Reed is had that thing with Seth Rollins. Obafemi, I kind of also think about, I don't necessarily have it for the top ones. Could there be someone from NXT that gets drafted or that's going to be drafted and immediately just shoots up the roster? For example, Obafemi joins the faction immediately. Could we see something like that? Obafemi currently is with NXT. I think he's going to stay with NXT, so that's why he's also lower on this list. But this is a superstar. This guy's going to be a superstar in WWE and main event WrestleMania. I really do believe that he could be a part of this faction and be someone that immediately, just off the gate, becomes someone insane. Up next is Karrion Kross. So, Karrion Kross obviously is starting to get a lot of fan interactions and a lot of noise and a lot of real push. I mean, is he going to be pushed by WWE? The fans want it, and if the fans want it, I say you should do it. Karrion Kross is so underrated, but here's the thing about him. I don't know what he could do with this. His promo skills are incredible. I don't think he necessarily needs to be a part of this. I think usually a Paul Heyman guy is someone that maybe the promos aren't as well, but in ring or just physically they look insane. Braun Breaker, for example, I think has some decent promos, but could be maybe a little bit better, but he's insane. You look at when Roman first started. You look at when Brock first started. I think Karrion Kross is somebody that could be that Heyman guy, but I really want to say that... Oop, I just hit my microphone. That was probably not the best. I really want to say I think he could do better on a singles run because he would have Scarlett as well. So Karrion Kross is an iffy one for me. Up next is Ethan Page. I have him really high on this list because, I got to be honest with you, I love Ethan Page potentially being the third guy in here. Yes, he's maybe not the most physical and crazy physical guy. Yes, he maybe isn't as attractive as the others, but when you're thinking of NXT, someone who has been amazing on the mic and promos, someone that has charisma, someone that has been insane for NXT this past year, Ethan Page to me doesn't maybe have it all, but he is a great wrestler. And so when I'm thinking of somebody that is probably main roster ready from NXT to go up, that's really Ethan Page right now for me. And I think he's been in the game for a long time. You could convince me of him and CM Punk when CM Punk had a little thing. I'm trying to think of little connections here. Ethan Page could make a lot of sense. Austin Theory is a huge one that a lot of people want. I understand why, but with the whole thing of Grayson Waller that was on commercials for the US viewers recently, it's hard for me to say Austin Theory will be a guy for this Heyman thing. Do I think it makes a lot of sense? I think Austin Theory really, and I really do mean this, needs something different in WWE. Could him being a part of this insane faction help? I 100% believe so. It's just, how do you push him away from Grayson Waller? How do you make him go to Heyman? How does that happen? For Braun, it was losing the IC title, helping with Heyman. For Austin Theory, you leave just Grayson Waller randomly and then just join him? I don't think so. So that's a little iffy one for me, but I'm putting him so high because I think he needs this, and I think he should have it. This is now where I would say are big contenders. I think Roxanne Perez, if it's not Roxanne Perez, it should be Becky Lynch. I think she's going to have a feud with Lyra Valkyrie for a while. But during this time, I think she's going to take this IC title and win this IC title. And while she holds and wins this IC title, I really do believe Becky Lynch could easily join this faction with Seth Rollins, with Braun Breaker. I mean, Seth Rollins and her are husband and wife at the end of the day. This is a legend in our game. People would love to hate Becky recently, calling her the new Hulk Hogan. This would be a perfect way to get that heat still going on this faction. Join Paul Heyman. You have Becky Lynch with Paul Heyman being Paul Heyman's girl, you could say, and Becky Lynch really just wrecking havoc with the IC title, growing this IC title to look more insane. I really could see this, and I really think this is a huge possibility that I think a lot of people are kind of not looking at. Becky Lynch could really wreak some great havoc joining this faction. And you can have great storylines and really connect the women's division to even this storyline. I have Drew McIntyre here because I really do believe that Drew McIntyre, what's next for him? I think if he gets drafted to Raw, it's more likely he takes the championship off Jey Uso. I think Seth and Drew are my two favorites to go against Jey Uso. Then also, I think there's not really much I think he'll do with Cena. Gotta be honest with you, I really do believe Drew McIntyre could fit perfectly in here. Seth and Drew have wanted to have this alliance. Drew's been trying to convince him. Seth doesn't understand it. He's been here now with Heyman, now with Breakker. You put Drew in the mix. That is an insane faction. Drew is amazing on promos. He doesn't necessarily need a Paul Heyman, but it's the same thing with Seth Rollins. You don't need a Paul Heyman, but this is a great way to really have some vets with Breakker and create this new insane main event for the next year. Now, long-term storytelling, I don't know if I really love this. I just feel like so much else you could do with Drew. I really want Drew to win the title off Jey Uso. I think it makes sense that he's coming after Jey Uso for killing his, momentum. I don't know. I just think there's something. Drew deserves a title in 2025, and I'm hoping it's not the U.S. title. I have a feeling it could be, but still, Drew McIntyre going crazy. Up next is Carmelo Hayes, and I think this is the last one, if I'm not mistaken. Carmelo Hayes is, to me, more than likely going to be the person. And I maybe this is me just being a little crazy and not really realizing, because he does have the awesome truth, or not awesome truth, the what do they say, him thing right now. Winning the Andre the Giant Memorial was huge for Carmelo Hayes. There is going to be a push for Carmelo Hayes this year. What's Carmelo Hayes going to do? I really don't know. Is it tag team for a little bit, then he goes solo? I believe if you want someone that's new, someone from NXT, someone that looks like a superstar already, someone that has the best selling, someone that's going to make matches look great, someone that is promo skills, I think, are incredible. Carmelo Hayes is it. Could he be the, savvy guy in this kind of faction? I just think Carmelo Hayes, putting him in this faction, boosting Braun Breaker and Carmelo, you're setting up your two future guys. It's kind of like a Batista and Orton. Now, I'm not saying they're both like that, whatever, and I don't think that they maybe entirely will be just like that. I think Breaker will. Carmelo Hayes, I'm still on the fence with, but I still believe in him. You're setting up the future, and I really do believe that Carmelo Hayes and Braun Breaker could really work well together. And I think that you would have a really amazing type of, not feuds, but a really amazing type of factions and main events you could do with veterans in this game. I really want Carmelo Hayes to do well, but we'll have to see. There's just all these interesting points. If I had to pick my four favorites personally, what I want, it's Carmelo, it's Drew, it's Becky, it's Roxanne. Those are my four. I really want Roxanne, but I just don't think they're going to do it. That's my only thing. But yeah, we'll see what happens. And I hope you guys enjoy. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.